Good day to you, third graders. I hope everybody is doing well. It's a nice sunny day outside, and it might even be warm. Oops, I might go for a walk. Oh gosh, sorry. Okay, so it's time to conclude our Purim story. We need to do this because the next holiday that's coming up this week is Passover, which is one of my favorite, it is my favorite Jewish holiday because I'm with my family and there's lots of good food. And sadly, this year I can't be with my family. It's really hard right now, but that's just gonna make my Passover Seder even more special. So I am gonna finish telling you the Purim story, and then I'm gonna send you another video probably on Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe Friday, we'll see, about Pesach, which is the Hebrew word for Passover, and all the adventures that I had at Passover Seders growing up with the Simons. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to Purim. So the Purim story concludes, I think we left off right when Esther had invited Haman and King Achashverosh to dinner for Shabbat. And her plan was to let King Achashverosh know that her people were in danger. So I think I told you that Haman went home that night, and even though he had to lead Mordecai around through the town as people applauded his kindness and his selflessness, Haman was so upset about this, but he was so excited to be invited to the queen's chambers for Shabbat dinner alone with King Achashverosh that he let it go, and he was just very excited about it. His wife was equally excited. Well, finally, the Shabbat dinner came Friday night, and Haman was so excited, so thrilled, and he dressed himself and got ready for dinner and went to the chambers of Queen Esther. And there was a beautiful dinner laid out. The Shabbos candles were ready. The Kiddush cup was ready. There was a beautiful challah. She had made roast and potatoes and all kinds of wonderful things, and a beautiful dessert was waiting in the corner, and there were candles lit everywhere. Her chambers were beautiful. And Queen Esther sat down. Haman and King Achashverosh sat down, and Queen Esther was so kind looking, so generous looking, and King Achashverosh just adored her. She sat down, she did the blessings for the candles, for the wine, for the challah, and they began to eat. Now, Queen Esther very, very subtly brought up that the king was doing such a good job and that he'd done so many good things, but there was one thing she couldn't understand. And the king very sweetly said, well, what is it? And Queen Esther said, well, my dear husband, when you put the decree out that all Hebrew people had to die by the sword of the Persian army because someone had disrespected, did you not realize that you were talking about me? I would have to die by that sword. And King Achashverosh said, what is it that you're talking about? And Esther said, I am a Hebrew. I am Jewish. My brother Mordecai, all my people will die by the sword of the Persian army because of the decree you put out. And King Achashverosh said, why did I even put that decree out? I can't even remember. I'm going to have to get my scribe. This has to be terminated. This has to be abolished. And the Queen Esther said, I know why you put this decree out. You put it out because of Haman. And she pointed at Haman. Haman was so angry. He dove over the table to grab at Queen Esther, and King Achashverosh lost his mind. How dare you touch the queen, my queen? This is punishable by death. And you are the reason that the Hebrew people will die by my sword? Out of the question. And so, dear third graders, those gallows that King Ahasuerus had erected not that long ago, a week ago, after reading from the scribe, those gallows. The next day, Haman was hung from those gallows, never to be heard from again. The decree that all the Hebrew people would die by the sword of the Persian army was abolished. Queen Esther stayed as queen, and Mordecai came into the palace and became the king's right-hand man, taking Haman's place. And from that day forward, the Hebrew people and the Persians lived in Shushan, the town in Persia, together. That is the end of the Purim story. And I think if you remember that there were always carnivals and parades during this time. It's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful holiday. And I will be back soon to share some stories about Passover with you.